Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. Today, into Gary Grigsby's War in the East 2 and our continued spring, almost summer offensive. Now, if you've been watching, you know I'm actually on vacation this weekend to Sin City, Las Vegas, rolling those bones, playing some blackjack. Who knows? May come back a multi-millionaire, which just means I'll stream more. Probably not. I'll probably throw away some money, get frustrated, and say this is why I don't gamble. Anyway, we're gambling here, boys. We're gambling into a pocket. And as you can see, we've formed what could become a rather massive pocket here if we can complete it. And that is always the trick. This can look as good as can be. If you can't get all the way over here, they just all leak out, and maybe we gain a little territory, but we need a whole hell of a lot more than that. So anyway, welcome. I'm trying to put up a few videos while I'm gone just to keep the game rolling along. I mean, we're at a pretty interesting point right now, right? You know, during the winter, sometimes it can get a little static, not a whole lot going on. You know, you wait a few turns, you move this, that. Usually we're falling back, trying to form a line. But now we're on the move and trying to pocket troops. If you've been watching to this point, you know, we got ourselves in a little bit of trouble, a little bit, I say in air quotes, when we tried to push for Moscow in 15 turns. That led to a hastily put together retreat with no dug in troops for the winter. But now we've recovered. I mean, we're in 1942. We're giving it a shot. Who knows? We maybe still can't win the game, but we're going to try like mad. All right, let's get into it. Now, one thing I did want to do before we really got started here is I wanted to go back and look at commands and make sure everybody has the support units, that everybody's in command. I also wanted to see what all is out here now. I mean, we've got a lot of support units that have come in from reserves and otherwise, and I just kind of wanted to take a peek at what we've got. So we've got some new Stug battalions that can be parceled out here. They're up at OKH. 16th Army actually has some flak, and then OKH has quite a bit of flak. None of that of the mixed variety, which we definitely like to have in each unit just to defend against tanks as well as aircraft. We've got some Panzerjäger, straight up anti-tank there. We've got Hungarian artillery, and that strikes fear into foes and friends alike. But we'll put that into the Hungarians when we get down here. I'm not really sure why I haven't parceled that out yet. But that's Lindemann, 50 core. He looks fine. 50th core. I know somebody will yell at me in the comments if I don't say it correctly. 50th core, not 50 core, not L core, 50th core. All right, here's Joseph Harpe. Nice general, big nose. I don't know about this hairline, but he's leading troops out here in 16th Army. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got. He is 42nd Corps. He's got the 3 artillery I like to have. He's got 1 mixed flak, 1 light flak. Let's actually give him another light flak. We'll just take that out of 16th Army so that the other ones are available to people around the map. Got some Pioneers, Construction, Werfer. You know what? I'm going to give him one of these Stugs. Why not? I trust you, Joseph Harpy. Or Harpe probably, but you know, if you're tuning in here, you don't do it for the pronunciations. 16th Army is run by Ferdinand Schene, who's just got incredible stats. Now, I've been told was a real jackass in history. I mean, jackass is probably putting it a little lightly, but anyway, doesn't matter for our purposes here. We've moved Mendel Field Division. We've moved this Jaeger. There it is. Moscow Luftwaffe Jaeger, take a shot. We've moved that over here to defend against land bridge. We got the Finns in good shape. They are under 23rd Corps. That is von Arnhem, who we have recalled evidently from North Africa to lead our Finnish forces around Lake Pskov. Okay, we've got mixed super. We've got three of those. We've got two lights and a mixed, a Stug. But gosh, this just looks beautiful. That's how you draw it up in the War College. Um, as we move down here, I thought I forgot that I turned this as Von Chapuis. I just had chuckled because I thought we were getting to Von Chapuis. Otto Wehler is here, another solid general. He's got three artillery. He's got a mixed flak and a light flak. We may as well give him another light flak. Some of these aren't looking great. We'll give him that one. How about that? Go back to him. Pioneer, Werfer, okay, he's got what he needs. I'm not worried about putting a Stugan with him necessarily. These guys are just holding the line. And here's my guy, Von Chapuis. Ooh, I'm glad I came and looked. All right, Von Chapuis's got to move around, and Von Chapuis likes his good champagne. He likes to have champagne and strawberries every morning, I'm sure. And he's like, get me close to Valeki Luki, where they've got the finer things in life. Let's move him. I guess he can go a little further. I'll just put him on this rail line here. I don't know why, just because I wanted to. And so he can get his shipment of escargot out of Valeki Luki. Okay, I know he's got his sport units. I would not leave Von Chapuis naked out here to the horror of his troops. Howitzers, he's got three of them. He's another guy that needs some light flak. I don't know, how did I get low on light flak? We've got a lot of it. Let's put that in. Boy, these are kind of chewed up, some of these. I need to bring. We've got some in reserves. I'll bring them in next time. But Von Chapuis needs another light flak. He's got a Stug, two construction warfare. He doesn't have any pioneer units. Do we have any pioneers left? Not really. Huh. Interesting. Okay. We'll have to go look in the reserves. Well, shit. While we're at it, I was planning on doing this at some point anyway. Let's look in our reserves and see what the heck we've got down here. Well, here's a Panzer Pioneer. Oh, interesting. So this is a Pioneer unit, evidently. I'm no brain surgeon, but when they call it Panzer Pioneer, I assume that's supposed to go with motorized units, but does it really matter? I don't know that it really matters. Um, Let's send that out to the map. Let's look at this Panzerjäger battalion. Whoops. Let's look at that. Okay, that needs to build up. It's at 33. This is at 29. Nothing to do there. We've got some construction battalions, but honestly, we're not digging in many places. And also, there's not a whole hell of a lot that needs repaired right at this moment, so I'm not going to worry about those guys. Let's look at some of our light flak because Von Chapuis demands it. Uh, what do we got? We got 100 there. That looks good. Let's take you to the map. All right, off to the map you go. What do we got here? He's 91. Well, that's going to be close enough. We'll put you on the map. Okay, we've also got some mixed flak back here. He's at 78, heavy flak's at 33. We'll let these guys continue to build back up. Motorized light, sure. This is Lair. I think, well, I'm not exactly sure how he got back here. Doesn't really matter. He's going back to the map now. Artillery units. We've got a depleted gun battalion. We've got some mixed artillery. Let's send that back to the map for next turn. All right. Heavy cannon. Nope, that's depleted. Siege mortar. This has been sitting here forever. We're just not producing any siege mortar, evidently. As I say that, I go to the siege mortar, and there it is. Well, it's at 100%. We may as well put it out at OKH, and if we get something under siege, we'll certainly bring it up. And a howitzer battalion that's also ready to go. Okay, cool. So we had a few things back here. Let's look at these armor units. We've got the Hungarian armor. Did they rebuild? Well, sort of. Not terrible. And this Panzer battalion that we can stick in and merge in with something, it's not quite there yet. I'll just leave it here. Speaking of which, we'll have to go to the air sometime here before the end of the turn and just look and see. We've got 40 of 40 here. So some fighter bombers in case. Well, I know I'm thinking though, I may leave them back in the reserves in case our fighters, get chewed up. Now they're not going to get chewed up like they did in 1941. I can tell you, and that's one thing I wanted to mention is I've lowered down my escort percentage to 80%, and it really seems to be bearing fruit. We are just absolutely shredding the Soviet Air Force, and we're not really losing. I mean, we're losing planes. Don't get me. You're going to lose some planes, right? But at a much, much lower level. Now, you'll remember in 1941, I had boosted up the escort percentage to 120%. Now, my thinking was is our planes are a lot better than the Soviet planes in 1941. So let's send more of them out. Let's send them out and try to do even more damage to the Soviet Air Force. Ultimately, when I think back about that, it probably doesn't make a lot of sense. And here's why. You can destroy a ton of Soviet aircraft even after turn one. Obviously, on turn one, you're going to destroy a lot. But even after that, all you're destroying are interwar aircraft. I mean, they're not good, they're not going to really do much against you, and you're getting these kill ratios that look great, but ultimately, if your Luftwaffe just gets chipped away, you really haven't accomplished much. Now we're getting into 42, and then especially in 43 and 44, where the Soviet Air Force is getting a little better. They can pose some kind of danger to you. um, this is really the time to have your fighters chewing them up, but I'm liking this 80% escort percentage because we're just getting massive kill ratios still, and we're not putting many fighters at risk. Now, if you wonder what I'm talking about, you can set your error doctrines for how much of a percentage of fighters you want to send out with your bombers for escort duty. Um, and the way it works is if you just leave it on auto or you don't mess with it, or it's at 100%, the game will decide on its own, the AI will, how many fighters it thinks are appropriate for each mission. If you put it on 80%, it sends 80% of what the computer thinks is appropriate. So just as an example, you're sending out fighters on escort, it's at 100%. The game thinks that for 100 bombers, it should send out 50 fighters. I'm just making up numbers, obviously. Okay, so it sends out 50 fighters. Well, if you tell the game, no, actually, I wanted you to do 80% escort percentage, it'll send out 40 fighters instead of 50 fighters. In 1941, I was sending out 120%, which means it was sending out 60 fighters instead of 50 fighters. So that's how those percentages work. We'll come back and look at this before the end of the turn, but I think I'm fine with how we are. Now, got to remember, we've got our 4 divisions back here that we can put in somewhere. Now, people in the comments were saying, or some people, not everybody, but some people were saying, maybe bring that into Minsk, right? And let's start expanding out this way. It's an idea, although I'm tempted to also bring them kind of in this area to clean up for where the Romanians just can't hold, and then we can double stack. Did I say Romanians? Hungarians. Hungarians. Apologies to both countries. I don't want to start a diplomatic incident. Um, the Hungarians here really need to be double stacked. They can't stand up to anything. Now, what we're hoping to do is we complete this pocket here, then we start our next pocket and eventually cut the rail line going out to these guys. If you can, if you're just tracing back from here, we go up this line. Here's the main rail that comes in here, but it dips down here. So it's really getting from this minor line onto the major line, right? So if we cut this line right here, that's it. I mean, there's no freight that's getting anywhere down here into the southwest of this pocket, or what I hope becomes a. Listen to me, talking big, brave game. What I hope becomes a pocket. There's no freight getting down here other than down this minor line as it comes through here. Once we cut, I think we got to cut probably at Rovno, because if we trace some of this around, it comes here, comes down here, then it can get on this major rail, right? So it's really, here's the big nub that we got to get to. And if we get to now, that's right out in the middle of the damn swamp. It's going to get, really muddy, fighting alligators, Soviet alligators, famous for their ferocity. We'll be out there, messing around in the mud, as the country boys call it. All right. Well, yeah, we'll get there when we get there. I like to, get ahead and dream. I'm a dreamer. Okay. Back on to Ninth Army under the very capable leadership of Walter Model. Model has some pretty decent generals underneath him. 26th Corps. This is Kirchner. He's got three artillery. That looks good. Two light flak, one mixed. Pioneers, construction, heavy warfare. All done. I'm not going to give him a Stug. He's fine. And now we've started to scoot these around a little bit, right? So they can start pushing east. We need to take places like Vyazma. Hopefully, we're not going for Moscow, not in 42. I don't think. I mean, look, hey, I'll take what's given, but we need to start taking some places that have got some points. Um, so we got to push east, somewhere, everywhere, and we will be doing that. So Kirchner looks fine. We'll look here at Heights and Eighth Corps. He needs an artillery. I'm not going to give him the Hungarians. So when that stuff comes out of reserves next time, we'll give Heights another artillery. So he's got some options. He's got two Pioneers, Construction, Werfer. We gave him a machine gun battalion. I'm not really sure why, other than why not? Okay, so that's the starting of ninth, and then we've got my guy. This, of course, is Theobald Lieb, and if you don't know the legend of Theobald Lieb, he will look at you in magnification through his monocle and scold you. Cannon, gun battalion, heavy howitzer. He's got two light flaks and two mixed flaks. Hey, look at you, Lieb, taking up all the sport units. Pioneers, construction. He's fine. We could put one of the Stugs in here with him or a Panzerjäger, but really he's going to be moving through forested area. We're probably not going to see a whole lot of armor. Those would probably be better down here. I'm talking about the anti-tank, the Panzerjägers, probably down here into Fourth Army. Now, one thing I say we, I say the universal we that we're going to be doing is probably turning Fourth Army into an assault army, and then putting everything in Second Army into Fourth. And then I'm going to take Second Army around here for all of these guys that are not in an army, and we've got a lot of them around the bend here. We'll make this Second Army, but I'm not going to do it this turn. It's a lot of shuffling things around. I'll probably even do it offline, maybe because they're just, I'm not going to sit here and make you watch all that nonsense. All right, let's get down here into Fourth Army. We've got 43rd Corps. This is Ederlein, 755. He's not great there. He's a pretty decent infantry general, though. He's got a 7. Let's look and see what he's got. Cannon, howitzer, super heavy howitzer, two light flaks, a mixed pioneer, two construction and warfare. He again does not have a Stug or a Panzerjäger, but that's all right. Although he might be the guy, one of the guys to give it to, but I think I may, and we're gonna look. We're gonna look here. It's Ninth Corps. It's Rendelik. Excellent general, Mr. Lothar. What a name, Lothar. Rendelik, 878 with an 8. It's hard to get much better than that. He's 84 and 25 in his professional career. Not bad. If this was baseball, American baseball, he'd be about 20 games in lead in his division. Okay, let's look and see what he's got. Okay, yeah, here's a place to put the Stug or a Panzerjäger, because he's very likely to run into some armor out here, right? We'll give him the straight up Panzerjäger battalion that's up here. Anti-tank, I like that. Okay, you can see it pops right in here. It's got the asterisk. It's moved. We can't move it again. It comes on. It's going to, not be at full strength on turn 1 that we transferred him out here. Okay, so now we're kind of down into where we were, years ago. Gosh, I promise you guys I won't sing, but I just can't stop it. The music is in me. Fourth Army, we had moved all these guys for the most part. Now we still have this unit here, and then right as we left off last time, I had moved this unit over here out of Second Army under the capable leadership of Ernst Highway to Hell, who's still got his winter cap on. Ernst, it's almost summertime, buddy. I don't know what he's hiding under there, but it's time to take the winter cap off, Ernst. I had moved this over here, and as I left you yesterday, I said, shit, I don't know. I mean, I want to keep these guys together, but we've got, a pretty nice line here. We've got some more elements of Fourth Army down here. Do we have enough to, make this line? We're starting to cut across the river. And last time we got across the river, I was very pleased with myself. I patted myself on the back for doing that, but the work is not done. And so we'll shuffle these, but let's move the Panzers. I know that's what you all wanted to hear. That's what makes the fangirls scream. Chicks dig the Panzers. But before I do that, I built that up. But before I do that, let's move my guy up here. Let's also make sure this is 11th Corps. Okay, 11th Corps is under Quartzfleisch, who's okay. He's got Stug's Pioneers, he's got Light Flak, Mixed Flak, 3 artilleries. I like it. Let's try to move this guy back. So I was trying to do all the infantry we could in and around Minsk. Okay, we did that. We moved him back. Good, because I want to move him forward and really start moving this way. That also means I'll move him here. Yeah, we're still every other hex. That looks fine. Um, he could try this attack, but I don't really know why. We're trying to surround this. We're not going to get odds there. This unit is pinned. It's not going to be able to get past that hex or past this hex. This guy's very weak, but I really don't want him to rout out of this pocket. So let's just leave it. Now, this doesn't look promising, really. He's got some armor here. You can see he's maybe already starting to have a little bit of a freight price. I don't want to overstate it, but maybe he's having a little bit of a freight issue here. I also wanted to do this attack there and see if hey, we did. We routed him. Okay, and he routed into the pocket. I love it. And so we can start moving him, him. This is 78th ID, the bad boys of 78th ID moving forward. We're going to put him right next to there, pin that in. Again, if you haven't played the game a whole lot, zones of control in this game, it's every other hex. Now you could get down into the minutia of the math, but really if you're in every other hex with full divisions, now don't take this as gospel with regiments, battalions, or otherwise, but if you've got a full division that's of halfway decent strength, they're going to exert enough zone of control that he can't just go flying through here. Now, if he's got a cavalry or a motorized unit, cavalry or otherwise, that's got a lot of movement points, he can get into this hex sometimes, but then you can just, what I call the old nutcracker, where you just go, you vice him. And so every other hex, that's why I'm always trying to make sure my line is at least every other hex. Obviously, as we move to the east and we get closer to the winter of 42, we're going to want to be in every hex. But, sometimes, especially now, that's not really possible. Or when you're advancing or trying to build a long pocket, which we certainly are here. All right, no need to move any of the rest of this. And that does finally. Now, he could. I say no need. Let's move him up there. I like that. And that pushes that back. And now we're expanding down into here. This is kind of a weird little setup, but it is every other hex. I mean, he can try to go here again. We'll try to do the old Christmas Nutcracker on him. All right, we're every other hex down here. Now I moved this infantry in here, which frees up the motorized. And what I'm going to try to do, and we'll see if we have any success doing it, is I'm going to bring this motorized here, okay? And I'm going to take this motorized, I'm going to move him around here, or I could put him there. Let's start with him, and let's also bring this guy up. Okay, now they're a little out of command, so we're gonna have to move the headquarters. Put it, let's say, right there. Now, what's going on here? We got Hans Hubei. Hubei is an 886 with a 7 mech. Excellent, General. He's got 4 artillery pieces. He's got a mixed flak and a heavy flak. He doesn't have any light flak. Let's put well, that's another mixed type flak. Let's put a light flak in there if we can find one. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, just so he gets a little air cover. If that becomes an issue, we'll leave that for infantry. So he's got all of our motorized units. You can see here, I like to put all the motorized under one corps and all the panzers under another, if we can, then you can shift that up a little bit. Let's click on all three of these guys. They cannot do a deliberate attack because we're going across the Dnieper. We just don't have enough movement points. We could click off this and see if two of them do. Nope, we can't even do it with two. So we're going to take all three motorized divisions and try to move this. Now, I don't think we're going to be able to move it, but maybe we can really do something to it. Not really, man. He didn't move jack diddly squat. Well, that does mean we're going to have to do a panzer attack. So hopefully we wore him down a little bit. Now let's make sure von Manstein has what he needs. He's got some mixed artillery, Panzerjägers, a little. He doesn't really have as much as I thought he did, to be honest with you. Um, he's already got a Panzerjäger. All right, we're going to do this. Look, we're going to lose some tanks here, but we've got to clear this unit and clear it too wide. And not only clear it too wide here, there's not going to be any delay points in these two hexes. So we can, really scoot through here if we can move these units exerting some kind of zone of control. Okay, we lose 5 tanks. He loses 2,100 men, almost 2,200. We knock him back. I will certainly take that result. All right, let's look and see. Do any of these guys have any movement points left? Just barely. Now we can go every other hex here. I just want to scoot maybe one or two of these back. Well, I guess I could bring one of them down here. Okay, we'll decide that in a second. Now let's see. Yep, we can get out across the river now. And that's what I wanted to do, is I wanted to scoot him back. He scoots back into the pocket. The delay points are in this hex, which really opens up these two hexes. Now, we could try to move these two, but I have a feeling that's not going to give us a whole lot of joy. Um, Now then, it's a matter of who we bring through here, and I think what we're going to do is bring the regiments through here. He can go here with 8. The reason I say that is, yeah, I could bring the... I hate leaving these regiments out here in a defensive type position, not to mention because they just sometimes get really torn up. Um, Yeah, I think I'm going to move this one through. I'm going to move the regiment through. So let's do that, okay? So he's through, and he's through a couple of hexes actually, as he tries to make his way towards Minsk. Now, I don't want there to be too big of a gap with anything here. This guy, I'm just going to leave behind the river. Yeah, it does. Oh, that reminds me. Actually, we'll come back to that in a second. Okay, this guy has 43 move points. He not only can get through here, he can really get through here and on the road, which really sets us up for next time. Now, he's not going to get all the way out here, right? But now this really starts to set this up. And these two regiments are, they're part of the same division, and we can put those back together. So he'll have 3 left there if we go there. Well, obviously, we'd rather be on the road. And so let's move him there. Now he could come here and really try to cut this rail. Yeah, but we're going to cut it anyway when we go here, right? As long as we cut it before it branches south. So if we cut it, you know, to the east of this node, it's cut. For going here and for going south to here. So I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Now we've got this guy. He can make it out across the river. I wish he was actually part of this. I don't know how these guys got a little mixed up, but they did. I am going to bring him over here across the river just so we have one straight line. We don't have any gaps here, so nobody can get isolated. So let's move him there. I like that, which means we're going to have to move one or more of these motorized down this way to take their place. This is just a holding force. I just don't want them to be able to, come up here this way. So he can go there. He doesn't have enough strength to go anywhere. Ooh, this motorized could actually flip over here. Oh, you know what I'm going to do first, though? Um, This motorized could come down here too. Let's first do a deliberate attack right here. I like the odds there. Let's scoot him back. Okay, he just totally routed. 1283. Yeah, I could have waited to surround him, but I mean, we knocked out 50% of that right there. This infantry then, yeah, this is setting up all right, gents. As a matter of fact, he could come all the way down here too. We've got a lot of choices now. Okay, we've broken through here. We're looking really good. We're on the road. We'll probably go north of this town. No reason to even mess with these guys, really. We're just trying to close this pocket. And as you can see, I mean, we haven't even moved over here yet. Now, I don't know how far, if at all, he can get, but we'll see. And we've got a lot of options over here. Okay, so this motorized could take someone's place. How far can he get out here? Um, we could go put this big Panzer division out here as well, or put it here to protect against him trying to, sneak back and bang on these guys. But he'd be all the way across the river. I kind of want to do that. Um, Let's do that. Let's bring that Panzer division also across the river. And now, I mean, we got a really nice force across the river here. Let's bring Das Reich here. Let's bring Das Reich there. Okay. I like that. So now we've got, a perimeter here. And you may say, well, this guy could cross the river. When he does, though, he's not going to have any movement points. We could go there or we could go here. Now, he's on our side of the river, but I don't think that's a particularly strong force. I'm going to put him right there. He's now 6 of 5, so we got to bring the headquarters down a little bit. All right. I think that looks fine. And then we have this motorized that's just kind of free. He could also get across the river, or I could bring down here and try to help with some of this mess and nonsense. Um, and we've got this guy that can also, I think I'm going to have him. Well, shoot, he could have come down here too as well. Um, let's put him here. We've got all motorized now forming this perimeter. All of these guys are in command. I'm kind of tempted to bring him down here because I need to blow out some stuff here. If he gets all the way here, he doesn't have any movement points left. Oh, I know where I could put him. I actually would like this regiment to come around here. Yeah, let's do that way. I want to get these regiments out of here to the extent I can and get them all back together. They make me nervous when they're out here on their own. Right, let's bring him around there. We'll do a hasty. We scoot it back. That wasn't exactly what I was going for, but okay. We'll let him sit there for a second. Um, I want to bring. All right. Let's take all three of these guys and do a hasty here to try to move that out. And we do. We just shattered it. Now, that cost us 14 tanks. I'm not happy about that. That was almost 9,000 men, though. We'll certainly take that. Let's do a hasty there. That routes. That's only 3 men. Okay, so now I think we can spread our wings a little bit here and get to the rail line, which was our goal, right? That's all I was trying to do here. Can he get there though? Let's route that. Okay, yes, we did it. Okay, so we come here, capture this depot, which had to be one of their main depots going here. Now he's extended, and we're gonna have to follow on here. That's why I waited. I don't want to attack here, really. Even though that looks weak, I don't want to attack there, and I don't want this guy to get stranded out here, all on his lonesome. Um, I mean, I could split this unit. I could split this division as well. Now, I hate to do that, but I don't want this guy to get out here on an island and get, um, so we'll move there. I don't want him to get isolated. And I'll move this part back there. All right, so we made a conga line here. I do think I'll try a Can he? Yeah, he could get over there, but I don't really want to do that. We could try to hit here with infantry. What kind of odds? Yeah, terrible odds there. What kind of odds there? Not great, but I'm gonna hope that I can scoot him back. He took losses, I mean, we got him like 3-1 losses, but that didn't scoot him back. Maybe it weakened him a little bit though. Um, All right, we're just going to have to keep it like that. We got to this rail though, and we cut it. And now I'm going to get these guys the hell out of here as fast as I can. That was the mission. I think we can hold him off here, and we still have infantry that's back here. Ooh, that does open up a possibility. Okay, how far can you? You can't get very far. Where can you go? Not far. Let's put this infantry here behind a river. These guys are exposed. We may lose some tanks when he runs up here to try to knock this line. But I think it was worth it to cut that rail. That's a major rail line. Now he's got one that comes up this way too. But I think when we get here, we're going to cut that as well. And so I think that's going to work out the way I hoped it would. But we got to get out of here now. Now they're going to have a lot of movement points left, and these guys are fairly weak. We've got motorized that can hit them. I could even move him up. Perfect. I'm going to do that. And let's hit this unit. Okay. Yep. 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 See ya. Um, and maybe just open this up completely. Now, this is probably not going to work, but let's hit him anyway, see what we're dealing with. We take 11 casualties, not the end of the world. I like it. I like it. All right. Now we've got a zone, we've got a ability here. Kind of tempted to, that's fine. We've got it. I mean, we're through and we cut the rail line back here. Again, you may say, well, you were going to cut that here, but it's not just there because then, cutting here keeps this major rail line from flowing down all the way down into the center. Now it's got other ways to get through, but we'll have to deal with that later. But we've cut it. Now it's damaged. Now he's got rail repair just like we do. He'll get down here and try to fix it. But hopefully by then we're working on our next pocket. But we're through here. We're across the river. We're almost to the Minsk pocket, as they call it, when they teach the great maneuvers. I'm joking. Don't think I'm taking myself too seriously. Certainly not. Uh, I just thought I'd throw that in there. All right, let's try to do a deliberate attack there. We route that into the pocket, so that's fine. He also just loses 2,000 men, which I'll take as well. Not sure if we're going to get any joy there. Oh, we did, but he routed out of the pocket. Ah, shoot. Okay, well, it happens. Um, okay. I can't really move these guys any further forward. I mean, I'm not doing a hasty attack, obviously. Oh, our Panzer. Now, I had this on refit. I swear to God I did. Let's put him back on Minsk on refit and see if this damn thing gets any freaking vehicles. He's got one truck out of 2,300. Um, I mean, give me a break. How is that possible? The only truck he's got's carting around the corporal. Anyway, okay. We're just gonna lash out here, not because I'm angry, but because he's not really going to be able to move, and now it almost becomes less important. Whether this guy, moves or not is not the biggest deal in the world. Let's try to hit their. Oh, okay. See ya. 1,600. I mean, I'd love all 9,000, but I'm not sure if I was even going to go for that anyway, because I'm going to stay on the road here. So, just clearing out things that are a little bit south of me. Now, he could move over, but I don't really want him to do that. Let's route that out. That's 1,500 men. We'll take that. Now then, let's. Oh, he could kind of start trying to sneak around here, couldn't he? But I don't have any support for him. I think he would get isolated out here. I was really hoping this Panzer division was going to repair this time, but looks like no such luck. Let's just make sure these guys are out of here. I'm just going to do deliberate attacks. That's 6,600 men. Certainly we'll take that. Let's hit here. Oh, didn't move him. Okay. All right, tough guy. You want to stick around for an envelopment party? You're invited. Certainly. Well, shoot, I figured he was going to move. So now we've cleared some of this stuff out, and we can also maybe, if we brought that infantry in here, as you guys suggested, really get him to connect up here next time. I don't know. By the time we get the infantry here, get them off the train, get them forward, it's going to be 2 turns at least. They may be too late. They're invited to the envelopment party. Maybe they'll just be fashionably late. Um, okay. Well, this is all going good. Well, shit. We can just let's just have the infantry go down the road. That's nice to see. There is nothing out here. We've cleared. Now he's going to rush some stuff up here, I'm sure, but it looks like we're going to have a lot of ability to move infantry or motorize or something over here to complete this pocket from the Minsk side. We'll wave at everybody, and they'll all meet in the middle and have some vodka. 1436 as he pops out of there for a routing. You've taken a routing, sir. Nothing I love there. Let's continue to look at what we've got out here. This is Volker's. Volker's 765, 7 on the ground. He's commanding all infantry, even though he's in 3rd Panzer. He has all the support he needs, it appears. We didn't look at 11th Corps, but I'm pretty sure he should be fine, and he is. Okay. Let's just go back here. Look at 10th Corps while we're doing it. Let's just make sure. He's got 2 Stug battalions. Come on, Hansen. Give up your Stugs. Nah, I'm going to leave it with him. May as well. We're looking pretty good for support units at this point. Let's back up for a second and see what we did here. We made the Congo line down to the rail. We cut it here. We're making an encirclement here. So dual, I mean, look at this. I can walk and chew gum at the same time. This whole holding force looks fine. As soon as we can complete this pocket, then we can run these guys forward and really, set up a whole new line here. Now, this would be a massive bulge, right? What I'm planning on doing is bringing the panzers to Minsk and then having the panzers head out south. We're going to close this up here and then move our infantry forward, I hope, and then we're going to bring the panzers here, and we really are going to try to get that encirclement out of Minsk and out of where would it be run out of? Well, I guess you can say Vinitsa, but it's actually not going to, I mean, it's going to be north of Vinitsa. I guess we could say it's out of Tarnopol, something like that. But once we have all of this secured, we can run, down the river. The big thing will be getting across this river, and maybe that's where we try to meet up. We're going to have to go down roads. That is all swamp, obviously, but we wouldn't be too far away from them here at Minsk anyway. Um, okay, let's keep keeping on. We'll hit there. We scoot him back. He's showing a lot of strength. It's only 10,000 men. We only got 2-to-1 kill ratio, or casualty ratio, which isn't great for us at this point. Let's hit there. Okay, that routes. That's 2,400 men. I guess we could have, woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's fine. Let's actually move this division up. Now, this is a fairly strong force there. We got to kind of watch that. Do I love this attack? Not really, but we're in attack. I'm in attack mode. Wow, we actually lost a battle. Okay, well, that's what I get for my hubris. Uh, does he have support units? What do we got? 7th. This is Fenn. Gustav Fenn. 7556. Okay, good enough. He's got plenty of artillery. He needs a light flak. Let's see if we can get any. Um, I'll just bring this one down. Hopefully it'll rebuild in the unit. Okay, So he's got, some support units. Let's lash out this way. We route that up. 779. Okay. Let's see. That doesn't look particularly promising, really. We're fine here. A lot of these guys, again, we're going to try to trap. So throwing away men, attacking them probably doesn't make all the sense in the world. These three, regiment sizes are all part of the same division. We'll try to blow that out of here, which we do. Great. This unit looks really worn down. This is the one in Brest-Litovsk, and I think I'm going to bring one of my reinforcement units right up here, and actually right up in here in this area is maybe where I put several of them. We'll see. He's also starting to threaten a breakdown there or break out there. We've got an isolated Soviet unit armor here. We'll try to take that out. We're going to try to push 11th Army up into this new vacuum here. We didn't, yeah, as you can see here, I mean, we are going to be able to link up, but, this pocket became 10 or 12 divisions. I'll take it. When you add it to the other four over here, 15 divisions, nothing to sneeze at. Probably not a good joke in COVID times. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do over here. This has gotten a little ragged down this way. Uh, but we've still got to clean up these guys first before we can really shove this way. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this. Wish I was live streaming with you guys. I'm sure you had a lot of great ideas and would have done this 100% better than I did. That being said, I think we did okay. As a matter of fact, I think we did quite well, and this is looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. And when I talk to you next time, hopefully we can get through the South. We'll see. I'm kind of contemplating, we'll turn the turn on Monday when I'm back live. So a couple more episodes this weekend. I'll probably, first of all be doing this area and then do this area on the second one, keep them a little shorter. But anyway, this has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you next time. Have a good one.